The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria has raised concerns over the increasing influx of Indian expatriates in the country's oil and gas industry. Senior correspondent Flouting Nigerian has details.
The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSAN, has threatened to embark on a nationwide strike over the growing presence of Indian workers in the Nigerian oil sector.
You cannot litter a country with this level of expatriates in a company that is as small as Sterling, in a country where we are looking for jobs. There is no country in the world where you have the cheapest labor compared to Nigerians. So what are they trying to hide? And we also learned that recently that the government of India declared some of the management of Sterling personnel non grata. Right. The government of India, they are looking for some of these individuals. Correct. They ran away from India, and today they are hiding here in Nigeria. So why has the government of India declared them personnel non grata if their attitude and character was good? It shows clearly that they are doing a lot of things that are fundamentally wrong. Nigeria government must wake up.
Addressing union members, PENGASSAN President Festus Osifo criticized Sterling Oil's management for its treatment of Nigerian workers. He insisted that the company must reduce its number of expatriate employees.
The welfare of our members in Sterling is nothing to write home about. This is just the first in the series of the activities that are going to happen. If at the end of today nothing happens, we move to tomorrow. If by the end of tomorrow, if nothing happens, we speak to those in authority and they are not willing to do what is right, this has a potential of accumulating into a national strike. Those Indians, they must be sent packing. All the jobs that Nigerians are doing, that those Indians are doing today, they must leave. Our brothers, our sisters can do those jobs much more effectively. In other houses, in other oil and gas companies, we have Nigerians doing that job efficiently. We have Nigerians up to the position of managing director. The biggest oil company in Nigeria today is Shell. It is a Nigerian that is managing Shell.
In Malaysia, for instance, if you take in one expat, you have to take out two Malaysian nationals. But in Nigeria, these people take advantage of the loopholes in our laws, taking advantage of the relative weaknesses of our corporate entities.
The union is calling on relevant stakeholders, particularly the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, to address the increasing influx of foreign workers in the industry. Flouting Nigerian, TVC News.
Let's bring in President of PENGASSAN for more on this development. Comrade Festus Osifo, thanks for joining us on TVC News at 7. Can you specify for us which laws you think Sterling Oil has violated in this regard? Are there roles filled by these expatriates that Nigerians are qualified for? And has the company failed to obtain required approvals, for instance, from the NCDMB or the Ministry of Interior for these hires?
Okay, thank you, Nifemi. Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers. Yes, for us, Sterling as a company, they have failed to comply with Nigerian laws. You've asked a very valid question. Are these Indians, are they carrying out jobs that Nigerians could do? Nifemi, I work for Total Energies Upstream, Total Energies Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited. I spent 3 years of my career across several platforms of Total Energies. Nifemi, if you go to virtually all Total Energy platforms, even complicated platforms like Akpo FPSO, like a Gina FPSO, and you could come to offshore, go to Amenam, go to Odudu field, you will realize that the entire panel operators are all Nigerians. These are people that own even OND. In the past, panel operators have been people who went to just technical schools. That means that you don't don't need sophisticated skills to be panel operators. So if you come to Total Energies, the entire panel operators are Nigerians. If you go to Chevron with complicated Agbami, the entire panel operators are Nigerians. If you go to Shell, Bonga, the same thing. You know, same in era of ExxonMobil, now Exo. But if you come to Sterling, there is no single Nigerian that is a panel operator. Look at the distinction. When you go to the IOCs, the entire IOCs, their panel operation is manned by Nigerians. Their maintenance, they are all done by Nigerians. But if you go to Sterling, they are all Indians. These are even operational jobs. We have said, and we have facts and evidence to show that even things that are as low as vulcanizers, they are Indians. I was talking to a media representation today. The person told me that even the head of communication in Nigeria is Indian. So literally, every single position of authority in Sterling are manned by Indians. Today, we have over 10,000 Indians. They come in with different names, and they are all working for Sterling.
Right.
We have the evidence, we have the facts, we have the names.
Comrade.
So for us, it is very clear. Having worked in the IOC for close to 2 decades, so we understand how.
Let's talk about way forward.
We understand clearly how these work operate. For
It appears there's a
NCDMB Act. If you look at NCDMB Act,
yes,
you are going to discover that naturally these kind of jobs that Nigerians could do, you are not supposed to bring in expatriates. But today, they are not even bringing in 20%, 30%, 40%, but literally, expatriates litters everywhere. Just take a ride. Thank God you are in Lagos. Take a ride to Etim Inyan Crescent. Just go there on a normal day. Morning, afternoon, or evening. You are going to, it will look as if you are in Mumbai. It will look as if you are in one city in India. So they have not only flouted the law that set up NCDMB, they have flouted expatriate quota. The ways they do this is this. What they normally do is that they will go and set up different companies. They have over 100 to 200 companies. They will use these companies in bringing in expatriates every now and then.
I hear you, comrade.
Low-level jobs that Nigeria.
Allow me to jump in very quickly.
This is a country where people don't have jobs.
If you can hear me,
this is a country where you have
Comrade
university
Osifo
graduates that doesn't have work.
Comrade Osifo, sounds like a huge indictment on the NCDMB that is tasked with enforcing local content compliance.
Yes, Nifemi, I can hear you.
Exactly. What do you think are the specific failures or gaps in enforcement that you attribute to the board in this regard?
Nifemi, it's not just NCDMB, Ministry of Interiors. So if you, most of the expatriate quota need to be signed up by Ministry of Interiors. You know what these guys have told us over the years? They have told us that they have all Nigerians in their pockets. That is exactly the word of some of the top management of Sterling, that they have all Nigerians in their pockets. They have literally told us that they can have their way whenever they want. That is actually why they have flattened this law. So it's not because there are gaps. How come it is only Sterling that is not respecting, that is operating based on that gap? How come ExxonMobil, Total Energies, Chevron, Shell, Ajib, and all the likes, they are operating within the rules? When you add the entire expatriate in the international oil and gas company together, it is less than 5% of the expatriates that you have in Sterling alone. Is it not the same crude they are producing? And these international oil and gas companies are even operating in a more difficult terrain. Their equipment are even much more sophisticated. So it is not about gap. It's not really about gap. The laws are there. The laws need to be implemented. Right. Ministry of Interiors needs to be alive to their responsibility. Ministry of Petroleum needs to be alive to their responsibility. NCDMB also need to wake up. NUPROC is the regulator of the industry. They also need to wake up. The question we have asked them is that how come in Sterling, we kept saying this, in their entire operations, you don't have a Nigerian there. In a country that we have millions of people looking for jobs. So
right.
it is not about the gap, because others are expecting it. Is because Sterling felt that they are larger than life, they are Indians, and that they can have their way with all institutions in Nigeria. That is really the cry.
Good place to leave it. Hopefully we can find a way out before a nationwide strike that can topple the entire sector. Comrade Festus Osifo is president of PENGASSAN. Thank you for talking to us on the news this hour.